Hi everybody, and welcome back to the Reconnection space. This is the space where we come to reconnect with relationships with ourselves, with the world around us, and as always, I'm out there looking for amazing guests to share their reconnection moments, because that's what we're interested in. We're interested in that human connection of when people had those moments in their life that created a change. And today I have the wonderful Chrissie Lowrey here from Cuddle Beds. Well, that's just one of her businesses, actually, one of her ventures. We have actually only just met, so we've just had a bit of a chat before I press record. But Chrissie, thank you so much for joining us on the YouTube channel.
Very welcome. It's lovely to be here.
Thank you. And Chrissie has, of course, agreed to share with us one of the key moments in life that really created a change. But firstly, Chrissie, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and what you currently do.
Okay, so I have two companies called the Cuddle Bed Company, like you said, and Autism, and I make sensory products and products for children with extra needs, but are also okay for families as well. So they're like sleepover beds, but they also support special needs as well, because my son's autistic, so that's where that comes from.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. So you've got a bit of a story that led you up to the point of launching Cuddle Beds, and you've mentioned there that your son is autistic, and that you were, I know that you told me you were previously a nurse, and then you had this kind of whole change. So tell us how you got reconnected, Chrissie.
So I used to have a really pretty, what I felt was a pretty cool job. I had good work-life balance. I was a clinical nurse specialist in mental health, looking after pretty damaged children, really. And all of a sudden I became ill. I was sort of bedbound for a year. Nobody knew what was wrong with me. And at the end of that year, my son, who had sleep issues, was unlabelled as a naughty child in his school, was actually diagnosed as autistic. So I taught myself to sew on my lounge floor, and I came up with a bed for him that helped him.
So how old was your son when that diagnosis came through?
It was quite late. He was very high functioning, really. So like I said, he was just labelled. He was 8 years old.
So that is quite late, and yeah, I mean, it's so frustrating when we hear of children being labelled as naughty or disruptive, and I think you as a mum, you can sense that that isn't the case. You kind of, the difference between naughty and them having some real challenges.
Yeah, absolutely. And before I was a nurse, I actually was a home leader, manager of an autistic home for residential adults. So I did actually know, I did have some sort of, and they knew that at the school, so I did have some experience. I did know what I was trying to get across and to get a assessment for him, but in the end I had to do it myself with the GP, which was fine. But bit of a battle.
So there you are. So you said he had some sleep issues, and what is it about what you made? Tell us what's so special and lovely about this product that you then sat on the living room floor and created?
Yeah, for my mum's sewing machine and he nested. So to get to sleep, my son has to feel very safe and secure, and that's quite a thing with autism. They like to have, or whatever their needs, they like to have safety. Yeah, pressure a little bit. So he used to put anything he could find in his bed. Stuff, it could be a wet towel, a hoodie, a coat, anything.
Right.
Just to get in there. So I thought, I think I was looking on a vegan site, I think it was at the time, because I was looking at my own health, and I saw this pillow type bed, which I then customized, made it my own, and protected it through the IPO.
And so this is something that actually wraps around. Sort of describe what it does for people.
Well, I do a couple of things. I do a beanbag that you sink in and get the full body pressure.
Oh, nice.
That's a newer thing. And then I do the cuddle bed, which is actually more of a soft thing where they can just feel more safe and secure. It doesn't wrap around, although you can do. And I know some of my customers' children do wrap around, but Zach has his, on his bed is his safety blanket, and that's how he uses it.
And this got some good attention, didn't it? Because there is something that those of us in business know called the the Small Business Sunday, which is run by one of the gentlemen from Dragon's Den. So tell us what happened there.
Yeah, so before that, I got into dogs. Excuse me.
Don't worry, we love it. Dogs there in the background.
I'm just going to quickly shut the door. So before that, I got a little bit visual on Facebook Live, and my twins were actually seen by Forbes, or somebody that was doing on Forbes, so it was actually seen on Forbes. I was getting more visual, and then I applied for Small Business Sunday and won that. Met Theo in February, and now I'm selling Robert Dias at his shop.
Say that again, you're selling where?
Robert Dias.
Okay, yeah.
And last month I went down to the Autumn Fair, because I also won a stand there as well, which was incredible.
Yes. So that's been a huge boost, but also shows that there is a need for this. There is a market for this kind of support. I mean, what you've described, I have to say, sounds perfect for me as well, because I tend to find myself in the bed kind of with all these pillows and the duvet, you know, and you want to feel kind of like in that sort of, yeah. Definitely. It's
actually grown now. It's grown to pillows and blankets and all sorts of things to actually fit in with that range. So progressed, it's gone on. We have had quite a journey, really.
And how are you doing now? How is your health now? Because that's a lot of focus on your son's needs and other people's needs. And how are you doing?
So I've sort of accumulated sort of 8 diagnoses with different sort of variations, but I don't let it beat me.
No.
And it drives me, and it gives me distraction from painful bad days. So I don't like to dwell on it very much, but it's still there. Yeah.
You mentioned another business, so not content with just all of the wonderful success of Cuddlebed, you've got Autism. So talk to us a bit about that new venture.
Well, that actually started in my mind just as I was sort of coming into sort of going from the hobby business to a sort of proper business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something here. And I applied for Not on the High Street, and I got denied for that, or declined for that. And in my head then I was like, you know what, I'm going to build my own.
That's the way.
So that's just very brand new now.
And the fact that they, you have this wonderful product, but they didn't want to stock it.
It was not unique enough for them.
You know what? Their loss. Absolutely their loss. Yeah. So I think that's amazing. And I've heard so many stories of where people have looked to make that breakthrough and it hasn't ticked all of the boxes, and then they've gone and done it themselves and just shown, what a success it can be.
Yeah, and Partisan, I've got what we call madmins, so they're my admins. There's nearly 30 of us. They're all with the same sort of stories with me. I've got a business partner who is battling cancer, and she has the same kind, and we're all raising up crafters, if you like, and giving them support as well as offering them the marketplace. So watch this space for that one.
I think I'm very excited about that. So this is a place where people can apply to sell their products, their homemade products, or homemade, but the products that they produce, that they manufacture. Yeah. Wonderful. And is that live now? Is that up and running?
Yeah, we've just been in the testing phase, and it's up and running. We've got some absolutely wonderful crafters and artisans in there, and it's just always so exciting. And obviously my cuddle beds are there too.
Of course. Well, that was the whole point, right? That was the whole point. So the question I ask all of my guests as we come to the end of our chat is the one to kind of summarise. So for you, reconnection means what, Chrissie?
It's getting my life back, feeling some sort of self-worth, and getting my family all back together as a unit, and actually having something to take me forward in life, if that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense. I think that's wonderful. Getting your life back. I think that really, really sums it up. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Where can people find out and reach you?
Okay, so Cuddlebeds is on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Obviously I have my own website. Yeah, and Partisan is everywhere. YouTube, Pinterest.
Lovely.
I'm linked everywhere.
Brilliant. So we hope you've enjoyed this next episode of the Reconnection Space. And if you have enjoyed it and clicked like, don't forget to click the all-important subscribe button on YouTube, which means that you will never miss an episode of the Reconnection Space, because we continue to find the most amazing people to talk to about the reconnection moments, and we just love sharing them. And I love chatting because that's what I love doing best. So it's great for me. So thank you once again to Chrissie. You'll see below this the links where you can get in touch with Chrissie and find out not only about her wonderful product, but if you sell a product, then here's a perfect opportunity to be brave. You know, she's a lovely lady, not scary. So, you know, if all these other brands intimidate you and you're worried, why not contact Chrissie and let her know about your product and what you're doing? And of course, if you have a reconnection story that you think our viewers would love to hear, why not drop us a note, because we'd love to hear from you. We'll see you next week here on the Reconnection Space. Take care. Thanks, Chrissie. Bye-bye.